Welcome back, CSC200 class, to part 2 of our EX1 simple queries, and we're going to do some simple queries right now. And the simple queries are right on this sheet that I'm going to give you. They might vary a little bit because this is an older sheet, but I'll stick with these right now and just see what comes up. And I'm just going to try, I'm not going to copy and paste these, I'm just going to try and look and see what they're saying. And again, I have my Cloud9 open. I already opened my workspace. There's my open workspace. And this is if I wanted to log out. This is where I'd log out when I'm done. And then also when I clicked on the link, I opened up this new window here, and I'm working in phpMyAdmin, the software, and we're connecting to an online database. So we're connected to the internet, and it's nothing local on our computer. It's in the database, and we also imported a world database that's composed of 3 tables. And I'm just going to look at some of these queries here. It says select all from city. Now when you say from city, from city, from city, from country, these are the tables. So the select all, there's a wildcard that means all. And again, you want to check out some of this stuff here because this will tell you all about the syntax of SQL, of how it works. The select statements, it talks about select statements. It shows you about the where statement, which is basically a kind of filters it to certain things where it presents a condition. You know, you select something from the table and then you provide a condition. Where is a condition? Like all countries that begin with the letter A or something like that, whatever it is. So that's what we're going to do. We can even order things. SQL can do lots of stuff. So I'm going to go back here, and this is where we're going to run our query. So depending what you're working on, this first one says select all from city means from the city table where country code equals USA. So we're going to find all the United States cities here. And I'll show you how to do this. And I'm going to go into here, back to phpMyAdmin. I'm going to make sure I'm on city. I actually am on city. There's city, and that's fine. But when I click on city, it's going to go to browse first, and it's going to show me all the cities. Now these are all the cities in the database, 4,079. Now if I want to see just the ones in the United States, now I would have to look through here a little bit and just know that maybe I'll go to the end. Let's see. I'll go to, there's all these pages here. Look at all these pages. I'll go down to 130 or something. And I can see there's a country code USA. So at least I know that's the country code, that it is called USA. Now how did I know that? I just kind of went to the end because I knew U would be towards the end. So I would have to go through the database to look at that a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to go to my SQL for city, and I'm still in city. I'm on city. And I'm going to go in here, and I have my text a little bit bigger. I'm going to say select all, and then you could do it right from scratch. You could say select, or you could click this button here and it'll get you started, and it says select all from city. Now one thing to point out, you could do it like this. You could type city like this. There's nothing wrong with typing it like that, as long as it's a capital C and that's a capital C, that's fine. However, if I delete this for a second, if you click on this, it's going to use city. It uses these weird little kind of accents to indicate that it's the table. Also, when you use these things, it's going to put those little accents on there. Either way is fine. Whether you like typing it just city or whether it does that, that's okay. Now, what we're going to do from city, we need a condition. And what we know about our condition is that the country code, because we already saw the country code, is going to be equal to USA. So I could click on country code, and you can see it puts that little quote thing on there. And you could just type it regular as long as you had a capital C and there was no spaces in there. And we're going to use equals, and you could use a space on either side of the equals or not. And I'm going to say country code equals, and I'm going to use a single quote and put USA. And you should get in the habit of also putting a semicolon at the end, just like we do with JavaScript or any kind of scripting language. Even CSS uses semicolons at the end. So what we're going to do, so there's our query statement, and then what we have to do is just scroll down a little bit, and we're going to go down here to go. And we're going to hit go, and what it should do, it should leave SQL tab and it should go to the browse tab and show me my results. So let's see our results. And if you type something wrong, you're going to get an error. So I did it right. You want to see green is good, and it says there's 274 results. And it's only rows 0 through 29 I'm seeing right now, but there's 274 results. It doesn't show you how many pages, although if you went here, you would see that there's 10 pages. Because if there's 30 on each page, that's 300, so there's a little less on the last page. And so the last page probably has just a couple on them. So here they are, and as far as they're in order by ID number, so they're ordering by ID number, not necessarily, or they might be by population, I'm not sure. I think they're going up in ID number, to be honest. It looks like that's how they're doing it. But it doesn't matter. You could set it up anyway. So what we're doing first, the question that we had asked is select all from country code as USA. So what you would put if you had to be asked that, if that was a question I asked you, you would say the answer would be, when we did that, I'll go back here, and there's our results, 274. So our answer would be 274. So if that was our first question, the answer would be 274. Our next one here, it says select all from city where population is less than 100,000. So those are really cities without a lot of people. So let's try that out. Let's go back to phpMyAdmin, and we'll just go back to SQL. And it says select all from city, and as long as that's there, you can just type over that. And where population, now population is down here, so you can actually just double click on it, and then you could just put your criteria, and that's less than 100,000. And you don't put commas in there. You'll just put the zeros that are there. So don't put commas. And where population is less than 100,000. Now figure, a large football stadium like Penn State and Nebraska, big college stadiums and stuff will have 100,000 people. So this is less than a stadium full of people in that city. So let's see what we get here, and I'll hit go. And it's green, which is good, and it says there's 517. And now notice, you probably never heard of some of these cities like Delft or Herlin or Alkmaar, because they don't have a lot of people there. So they're not huge, they're real small cities in terms of population. And you can even order it by lowest, even if we wanted to go back to our SQL that we had there, and there's got to be, well, we'll have to find out a way that it brings back the same one we just did. I don't know if it brings back, there used to be, on the other one that I used, there was a button that would actually bring back the same one we just did. But just for now, we'll kind of just retype it, where population is less than 100,000. There's 100,000. I'll put my semicolon. And also, if I wanted to do something else, I can put something called order by, and I'll leave it ascending. And you could also put a limit on there. But let me see if this works first. Make sure if that so you'll get these errors, so that's okay. And I'll also copy it, just in case I want to paste it again. And I'll hit go. And that time it worked. And I got 517. And it's doing, and there it's ascending. It's going from the smallest population, and it's going up. It's going from 42 people in Adamstown, PCM. I don't even know where that is. Here they have 167 people in West Island, whatever that is, and all this. So none of these I've ever even heard of. So if I wanted to know the least populated places, I can do that. So again, what I did, if I go back to SQL, and I'll even paste the one that I had there because I just copied it. I'll just paste it. You can see what I did. I did order by, and I should probably do, you don't have to make these capitalized, but that's usually the way it shows up. So you kind of want to stay within that realm of how it shows up. So I selected all from the city table where population is less than 100,000, and I did order by population ascending. And you wouldn't do order by population. It might have a default, but you usually want to put this descending. So if you want to do, even if you wanted to do another one and say greater than, and I'll say descending, and that's wrong because it should be SC. And then you can also do something like limit, and again, I'm just throwing things in here just to try them out. And I'll put limit 5. We'll see if that works. And what that should do is it should limit me to the 5 largest ones. We'll see if that works. Just trying it out here. And I did not get an error, so that's good. And here's the largest populated cities in the world. Mumbai, or formerly Bombay, didn't know that had changed. Seoul, Korea. Sao Paulo, Shanghai, China. Jakarta, India. So they're, very, very, with 1 million or close to 1 million people in those cities. So those are huge cities. Maybe New York is up there too if I would show some more, but I only limited to 5. You can see here's my query that I just did. Select all from city where population is greater than 100,000, order by population, descending, limit 5. So it's showing me what I did here. So I could even, I could even copy this if I wanted to, because that's what I just did. So if I went back to this, I could copy that. And that should be fine too, even though they're on separate lines. That would work fine too. So anyway, let me go back at this and take a look at a couple more here. Select all where district equals New Jersey. So there we have one. Say, let's see what are the New Jersey cities that are on this list. So I'll go here and I'll just highlight everything. I'll wipe it out and I'll just hit select, and I'll select all from city where district equals, and I think it does 2 words. So I'll put a single quote and I'll just type New Jersey. I don't think it puts it all together, so I'll try that. And I'll put my semicolon, even though it'll work without the semicolon. So let's see all the cities from Jersey that are in this database. And it only shows 4. The whole state of New Jersey, there's only 4 cities in this database. So obviously they're not showing every city because there's certainly more than 4. And it doesn't even show Trenton, which is the capital. So obviously it's kind of picking out certain cities. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not even sure why it's doing this, but it did not have every city in the entire world on their database. But that would be a lot bigger database to work with. So anyway, going back to this, let's check out a couple more before we end this video. Select all order by population. Now we already did that. So this is from country. So we already did it with city. So I'm not even going to do this one because we did it with cities where we did order by population. And you wouldn't even notice it doesn't, just with this one here, notice you wouldn't have to put where population is greater than anything. If you just have order by and you say descending limit 5, it's just going to show the top 5. So you wouldn't even need a limiter like where involved in that one. So here's one where it has select all from country where continent equals Africa and surface area is less than 10,000. So I don't know, let's try something out. Let's just go look at country. Here's the country table for a minute. I'll go into country and you can see they have things like continent, population, life expectancy, all kinds of things here. Aruba, continent, North America. Aruba's in North America. Let's just find all the countries that are on the continent of North America, because I thought there was just a couple, but Aruba's a country in North America. So let's just see what's part of North America. You could check out anything you want. So I'll go to SQL, and again, remember we're in the country database now, so it says select all from country. And we're going to say where, and here's, if you don't remember all the fields, here they are, and we're going to say where continent equals, and we'll just put North America, and it was 2 words, and I'll put a semicolon. I'll hit go. And there it is. And there's all the 37 countries in North America. Who would have known there was that many countries on the continent of North America? Netherlands, Antilles is part of North America. Didn't know that. Bahamas, all these. Look at all those things that are part of North America. We didn't even get to the United States yet. So there's 37. So United States would probably be on the next page. So if I go to the second page here, then I'd see there's United States and there's Virgin Islands and all these. So there's 37 countries that are part of North America. Who would have thought there was that many? Let's find ones that are not only on the continent of North America, but are also in the region of North America, because some of these regions are Caribbean and different things. And if I go back to the first page, I guess that's it. I guess it's all, Central America. So there's Central America, Caribbean, and North America. Let's find all the ones that are North America. So we could go back here and select all from country where, and I'll say continent equals North America. And what we're going to do is we're going to combine some here. So we're going to use an operator, and we're going to use an AND operator. So is North America, continent is North America, and then we're going to use an AND, which is like a joining operator, and region is North America. So we'll put equals, and I'll put North America. And that way I'll find all the ones that are just North America that aren't Central America and that aren't Caribbean. So we'll see. These are ones that are probably a little more familiar, I guess. So we'll see how this works. But we're putting a little AND join in there. So I'll scroll down. I'll hit go. And now we only have 5. United States, we know them. Canada, we're familiar with those guys too. They're right above us. And Bermuda, and we wouldn't have Mexico because they would be considered Central America or South America. But we do have Bermuda and Greenland. Who would have thought Greenland was part of North America? I didn't know that. I thought it was somewhere over by Sweden or something. But anyway, there's 5 countries that are part of the North America region and continent, and we figured that out from doing our query here. So again, I'll give you a place to put these, whatever numbers you get here, I'm going to have you input somewhere, whatever's easiest. I'll find a place to do it easier. I don't know if doing a quiz in My Warren that's more of a hassle. It might be easy just to paste them in an email and send me an email or something. Or maybe just your comments for the exercises. They have that little place for feedback comments, and maybe I'll put it in there so you could just put all your feedback comments, because you're really only going to need, when you do this, you're going to have something like this, and you're only going to have like 1, 2, 10, and then maybe there might be 3 of them under here. I forget what these questions are, but I'll ask you some questions. I might change these a little bit, but just after doing the video. But something like this, where you're going to put in the answers here. You know, they could be numbers, or they could be countries and things like that. A lot of them are how many countries, so there's like numbers that you put in there, but you might want to list a couple things. So I'll probably have you just kind of, you could type it or type it anywhere and then just put it in your comments for the coursework. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's good for now. That's a little practice with doing some very simple queries in here using our SQL tab. You don't have to close out of this or anything. You could just, you know, go on World and even go back to Server. That kind of gets you back to the beginning, and you could just close this tab. You don't even have to log out of this. You can just close this tab. So I'm going to close that tab, and there's my SQL. Make sure you go through some of this stuff in the beginning. A lot of good stuff here. And then when you want to go here, when you want to close this up, you could do a couple things. First, I would close your little bash tab here. That's the one where you first did the PHP my admin. And if you want to, even this link, you might even want to, now I should have had you bookmark it, but what you should do, what I'd recommend, is you bookmark this somewhere. Bookmark it somewhere, wherever it puts it, put it just in your bookmark bar, whatever, and then hit done. So there it is right here. So that when you close out of this, and even if you go to here, and even if you close this bash, I think once you install it, you might be able to still go there. So I'm going to close out of here. You won't be able to be logged out, and it might make you log in again if it's after a certain amount of time. But I'm going to close out of this bash thing, and I'll close my terminal. I'm still in my workspace, but if I go, I'll just open a new tab here, and I'll click on that, and it takes me back in here. So there's my world. So that's this. It took me back into my place, so that's okay. It remembered it. So you could see it is using csc200 rich. That's my workspace, and then it's using my username, my Cloud9 username, and it says c9users.io, and then it says phpMyAdmin. So that's a way to get to it. Let me close this up again. And then in here, once this is closed, you could just log out. I'd recommend always logging out of your workspace and logging in. And to log out, go to where your little icon is, or I have a little picture here, and I'm just going to go to log out. And that's it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything here either. Actually, I would log out in both places, just so it's not open in one and closed in the other. I would go here, and I would make sure I hit that little button to log out. So then you're logged out of everything. You could go here, close this up, because this is where you'd normally log in. So that's what you're going to do for your exercise 1, just some simple queries. I'll give you instructions. I'll post instructions of where to put your answers when you get them. But hopefully this will give you a little practice with working with our first database.